in Ghana?
I grew up in a farmland somewhere in Ghana, in Kumasi. And I was birthed by a woman who is a spiritualist, and she raised me on a farmland. But she raised me with the fear of the Lord, and she gave me a capital. The capital was that vice she gave me. She said, son, learn how to give to the world, and the world will always come embracing you. I took those words with me. And that was the beginning of the birth of the New Africa Foundation. That wasn't the name then, but we were givers. So we have been givers for 3 decades. And it grew, and it grew, and it grew. But I thought that having a foundation was just about giving. As it was growing, I realized that it's also about being responsible for the society you belong to. And that's how today we're sitting here. 7 months ago, I decided that the greatest voices in Africa should come together and start to speak for how Africa should be governed by Africans and not foreigners and not other people who are interested in whatever resources that we have in our countries. But we should be responsible for our own human resource and mineral resources. And the only way to do that is to industrialize our people and our minerals. So I want to use this moment to first of all thank all of you to accept this invitation. How would I have thought of myself that coming from a farmland, a 6-year-old boy that didn't have anything, would one day call upon people like you, and you will accept my invitation. A young man like me, and people that can birth me, people that can be my aunties, my uncles, my leaders, my presidents. But you listen to the voice of the young man, and you came here to speak to the youth and the people of Africa. They say the greatest creation, or the most pinnacle creation, is the human's mind, and it must be used for a good purpose. Africa is lacking education, but not the type of education like Doctor was talking about. The sort of education that should come from our own. How to learn about our own resources. How to know to add value to our people. When you take value away from people, you stop the economy of your own country. You stop the growth of your own country. When you add value to the people, the country starts to grow. And Africa is about to grow because we are ready to add value to humanity, to the people who are Africans. So the purpose of New Africa is not only to give you food, is not only to organize a convention for us to meet and give you knowledge, but it's also to stand up and become responsible for the social responsibilities of this continent that will build the youth. For the future of Africa is in the hands of the youth. They have more years ahead of them. And at least we have lived half through our lifetime, and some of us have even gone past that. But we thank God for giving us life. And we need to think about our children. We need to think about the youth who are coming up. So again, when I look at this opportunity, I don't take it lightly. You might call it a failure. I see it as an opportunity. Being here and being with us, these 4 different leaders from 4 different sides of Africa coming to Ghana makes me feel that this is the headquarters of Africa. People have value for Ghana. They have value for Accra. The leaders of Africa, I would like to use this moment to urge that please look into your youth. You have the Nkrumahs in there. You have the Marcus Garveys in there. You have the Martin Luthers in there. You have great leaders in the youth. Give them the chance. Let them just help. Let them add value to the people. Let them support us. Let's support ourselves. Let's build ourselves again. And on this note, I would like to say sorry to those that couldn't participate with us in the convention. But right here, I am seeing the convention.
This is the convention.
This is the birth of the convention.
This is the convention.
I can tell you as clearly and plainly as I can that I never heard the conversation about him being a millionaire. I never had a conversation about him having political ambitions. The time that I've spent with him has been more to do with entrepreneurship and the possibilities. So for those who are saying we are here to support him further his political ambitions, that is a damn lie. Certainly, from my interactions with him, I don't know about whether he told Professor that. I don't know if he told my brother, Honorable Peter, that. I might want them to clearly state that, whether that conversation ever took place. But the interactions I've had with Nana Bediago have been about entrepreneurship and the possibilities of what we can do if the African youth could be empowered, and how we can raise money to support African youth so they can build the Africa that we want. That's all the conversation I've had. Anything else, I do not know. But I felt I should let all of you journalists know, because I'm sure you're going to hear the same rumor that I just heard. These are the conversations I've had with my son. And I'll tell you one more thing. When the invitation came, Professor can tell you, I didn't know my son, but I had to do homework. What got me to accept the invitation is his age and the fact that he's a youth. Because if we do not support our youth, then who is going to support them? I hired a young man one time, he said, "Doctor, nobody wants to hire me because I have no experience. But how do I get experience if I don't get a job to begin with?" I said, "Son, you're hired." I accepted an invitation from Nana, not because I knew him, but because of his age and the amazing things that he's doing at such a young age. It is that plain and simple. Anything else is a lie. I just wanted to clear that up.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Because you said we should, I think I'll join in what she said. You're very correct. It is about her entrepreneurship. I met him again on the 4th, was Prof who invited me, and I got a call from him and he said, he's around somewhere in Lagos. Can he come and visit me? I said, no, I'll come and visit you. And he was something about age. He said, since you're thinking about it, I'll come and visit you. And surprisingly, on arrival in Accra today, a young lady came along and said, I work with the youth and entrepreneurship, and I want you to talk or talk about entrepreneurship. I said, we're coming to Ghana to talk about entrepreneurship. And you just asked me a question. How do we spark entrepreneurship among the youth in Africa? I say, fight one thing, corruption. And you look at me. I say, corruption kills 3 things that makes a society. It kills entrepreneurship. Nobody thinks in a corrupt country because there's